How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I do appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful day. I know I am. I'm actually having a wonderful day today. It's been a while since I've had a good day. I just got out of work and I'm excited to give you guys this video today, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Originally I was going to put out this video with just gameplay, okay? But I decided that I would tell you guys a story instead. And because it is football season and I love football, I'm going to give you guys a story about football. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. So, believe it or not, guys, in my lifetime, I've done a lot of things, okay? I've done a lot. Any opportunity that has ever crossed my path, I have taken a chance on, all right? I've always done that. I mean, of course, within reason, right? I've never let an opportunity pass me because I feel like you have to take a chance on everything that you do, because you never know what you're going to be good at. And I'm not afraid to fail, okay? I've failed many times, but I've been pretty good at other things, right? So I'm not afraid to fail, and I've taken chances on almost everything, all right? And football, coaching football is one of the things that came across my table one time, and I took the chance. You know, believe it or not, before that, I actually even played in a band. Self-taught drum player. I taught myself. Nobody taught me. I grabbed the drums, and I didn't even watch videos or nothing. I was kind of just by ear, and I kind of learned how to play it. And I was a decent player. I'm not an amazing player by no means, but I'm a decent player. I can hold my own, right? And, you know, I got to play in weddings. You know, I got to play in bars. We did a lot, right? I even won the talent show with my band at the high school. I won the talent show. First place. I beat out a bunch of other bands. And believe it or not, this is crazy. And I got to say this because every time that I tell this story, I always had to add this, okay? Believe it or not, in the same talent show, my wife got second place. Don't tell her I said that. She got second place. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? My wife and I have been together since we were in high school, right? But in the same talent show, she got second place. So I beat her. I've been holding that over her head for many years, guys. It's awesome, man. Oh my God. She's going to kill me if she hears this. All right. So, okay. Well, several years back, I had the opportunity to coach football. My son was around 7 years old or so. Actually, my son had been playing football since he was 5 years old. He'd been playing tackle football. The first 2 years that he played football, I didn't coach him. He was playing with another team, and I was kind of just the parent. You know, I was just spectating. Well, the coach that was coaching my son moved up in division, and he was left behind because he was too small, right? So he was left behind in a smaller division. So I had the opportunity to grab the team myself, be the head coach, and I did. They gave it to me, and I took it. You know, I went ahead and I looked for sponsors, you know, and I recruited a couple of players that I knew, and then, you know, other players I picked up in the draft and stuff, you know, and I built a team. You know, and it was fun. It's a lot of fun, you know. So I really didn't just take this opportunity, guys, just because I love football, but it gave me the opportunity to coach my son, which is, to be honest with you, the greatest feeling and the greatest thing you could ever do, man. If you ever have the opportunity to do it, man. But now, I was a little scared, I'm not going to lie, because I had never coached football. I had never held a practice or anything like that. So what I did was, I got together with my son's previous coach, you know, his coach that he had previously. I talked to him and he told me, you know what, just grab a spot that's kind of near where I'm at and just kind of watch what I do and kind of try to mimic what I do, and then you can go from there. So that's what I did. You know, I found a spot that was near his practice, so that way I could just kind of watch what he was doing and just kind of go from there, right? And it worked out pretty good, okay? So it did all right for me. So if you guys have ever coached 7-year-olds, I'm going to tell you guys, it's quite an experience, man. It's an experience, man. You have all kinds of kids, man. I'm not going to lie to you. We had one kid. This kid, his mom would bring him to practice because, not because she wanted him to be on the team or because she wanted him to be this great big star or anything like that. No, she brought him to practice because all this kid did was be at home, and all he would do was eat and watch TV and play games, and he wouldn't get out. He would not go outside and play. He didn't look very healthy. You know, he had gained a couple pounds, you know, and, you know, for a 7-year-old kid, you know, and being a big kid, you know, his mom wanted him to do something. You know, he was just being a couch potato. So he brought him over to practice. This kid never wanted to practice, man. He'd get off the car. She'd get him off the car. He would bring him over to the practice field. And right outside the practice field, guys, there was these yellow poles, like the ones they have like at the gas stations and stuff. You know, the ones they had before you get to like where the glass door is or whatever. They have these they're concrete, I think. And, you know, they're like small, you know, maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 feet tall or whatever. And so we had these poles right outside our practice field. Man, this guy would wrap his arms and legs around this pole, man. We could not pull him off. We'd be like, dude, come on, dude, you gotta practice. You know, we gotta start our practice. And he would just cry and scream and say, no, these guys hit me. They push me. They're always pushing me. And we're like, dude, this is football. You know, this is how football is. No, you tell them to push me. I'm like, no, we're not doing this on purpose. Like, you know, this is football, man. It's a contact sport. This is what's supposed to happen. No, they hit me. You know? It would take us a good 20 minutes, man, before we would be able to get him off that pole so he can get to practice. Once he started practicing, he'd be all right. You know, he'd get hit a couple of times, you know, and he would, you know, pout or whatever, but he was fine. You know, we'd make him run and get some exercise and stuff. By the end of the season, he was a decent player. He was not a bad player. He actually got to play pretty good. He was pretty good. So yeah, you know, I mean, it was crazy, you know, and we had all kinds of kids. We had this other kid, and I never forget his name. His name was Ryan, and I don't forget his name because he had the same name as one of my nephews, right? So this kid, we had him. He was a skinny kid. He was pretty fast, so we had him as a running back. You know, so one day he was running the ball, you know, and somebody comes and they lay him out, man. They hit him pretty hard. He drops the ball, and all the coaches started screaming, jump on the ball. It's a fumble, you know, jump on the ball. And this guy, instead of like, you know, jumping the ball and covering the ball, this guy literally started jumping on the ball, dude. He was jumping on top of the ball. We could not help him. We couldn't even stop him, you know, be like serious and be like, dude, that's not what we mean. You know, we just started cracking up, man. Even his dad started laughing. We were just laughing, and we were just like, dude, this guy's literally jumping on top of the ball. I mean, I guess we could have explained it a little better, you know. But yeah, man, you know, this guy was jumping on top of the ball. It was crazy, man. Let me tell you guys about this other time. One time we were in practice, man, and I mean, all the kids were acting up, man. They were just misbehaving left and right. I mean, they were just not listening at all, man. If you've ever coached 7-year-olds, you know these kids have a motor. They're just running around, screaming, you know, hitting each other and stuff like that. So they were misbehaving, you know. So I was like, all right, y'all don't want to behave. You know, I held them all together and I'm like, y'all don't want to behave. I'm going to go talk to that other coach and we're going to practice with the upper division just so you guys can listen. You know, in this upper division, man, they had this one kid. God, this kid was, I would think it was 8 years old, 8 to 9 year old is what they were coaching. I mean, this kid, man, was as big as me. I think he came in weighing at 190 pounds at 8 years old, man. This guy was a freaking beast. We used to make fun of the coach all the time. He'd be like, dude, you cannot be suiting up your coaches to play, dude. This is not legal, dude. We were just having fun, man. Everybody would laugh. He was a great kid. My son actually got to play with him his first year. He was a lot smaller then, though. But yeah, he grew up to be a big kid, man, you know. So I talked to him, right, and I told him, you know what, bring him over. I want you to bring him over. And then I'm going to create a line and I'm going to tell every single one of my players, you guys are going to go against this kid and you guys are going to go over tackling drills because y'all don't want to behave. Y'all don't want to do what we're telling you. So now you're going to have to practice against him, right? So we bring him over, man. You know, I have this one kid. He's all macho and everything. He gets in the front of the line. He's walking over there. He's all tough, right? So we walk over there. They don't realize that the guy that they're going to go against is this 190-pound kid, right? So here comes this kid, you know, he turns around. This guy's walking with his head down, you know, he's kind of mad or whatever. He walks up to him. He picks up his head. The face on this kid was priceless, man. I mean, his eyes just popped out. I thought they were going to go out of his helmet. You know, he just started crying and crying. And I felt so bad, man. I felt so bad. But at the same time, I wanted to laugh because it was hilarious, man, you know. So I turn around. My coaches turn around because they're trying to hold it back. You know, they're trying not to laugh. So I turned around and I told them, y'all going to listen? Finally, everybody like, yes, sir, we're going to listen and we're going to do what you tell us to do. I said, all right, I'm going to let y'all pass this time, but next time y'all misbehave, I'm going to make you guys go against this guy. I'm telling you, man. Oh my God. We had this other kid, man. His name, we used to call him Stone. Well, actually, his dad called him Stone. And it was hilarious because every time he was a little kid, he was, I think, like 6 years old or something. He was a little kid. And he was a stocky little kid. Looked like he was built, man. We would make everybody do push ups whenever they, they would do something wrong or whatever. He could do the most perfect push up I've ever seen anybody do, man. I mean, he made this push up. He was 6 years old and he could do push ups with helmet and shoulder pads and everything. So he was a strong kid. His problem was that he was little. He was a little kid. His mind was small, obviously. So whenever they would hit him, I mean, this guy would fall, helmet into the ground, his butt sticking out, and he would just stay there, man. He would not move at all. He would just stay there. If you didn't go over and pull him up and stand him up, he would stay there. He would be there, his helmet in the ground and his butt sticking out, and we'd be like, Stone, what the hell are you doing? He would not move. His dad would get so mad. He'd be like, Coach, man, get him up, dude. What is he doing? I'm like, dude, I don't know. He always does that every single time, man. Even in the games, he'd be in a play or something, he'd get hit or whatever. He'd fall on his butt or on his head, man. Every time he'd fall the same way, head first, butt up, every time. It was hilarious, man. It was fun. It was a lot of fun, man. All right, guys, to make a long story short, we made it to the championship game. I think that year we won. I think we went like 9-1 or something like that. And we made it to the championship game. The only team that actually beat us, which was a very close game when they beat us, was the team that we were playing in the championship. Well, when the championship comes around, my son was the quarterback of this team. Obviously I was the coach. I was the head coach. I had a really good tight relationship with my son. We'd practice at home, so he knew all the plays. And I had all kinds of plays. I always came up with my own plays. All right. I didn't know how to run a practice, but I did know how to create plays, and I still do. So I would come up with these really, really nice plays that I would come up with. And so I had these quarterback keepers, and all kinds of plays. Right. And, the game was pretty tight. It came down to the end. I think at the end we were like 12. We were at 12 and they had 15. So it was 12-15, right? We needed to score a touchdown. There's obviously no field goals or anything like that. So the only way to win was to score a touchdown, right? So it's 4th and like 12, I think. It's 4th and 12 to get a first down. It's like 30 seconds left. We're like 30 yards away from the touchdown, right? So I talk to my son and I give him a play. I call him a quarterback keeper. My son goes up, he calls the play, they're walking towards the line. And as I see them walking, like if I picture it now, just like it is, they show it on the NFL films, see these guys are walking slow motion and, you can see they're getting focused and everything. They walk up to the line, the line gets down, he gets under the center, cuts, and he runs, man. He runs his heart out, man. I'm telling you, the greatest run I've ever seen in my entire life. This guy runs. He not only gets the first down, he runs 30 yards to the touchdown, and we win the game. It was the greatest feeling in the world. There's nothing better to see a football game where your team win a championship and it be your son that scores the winning touchdown. That is the most amazing feeling in the world, man. And I just started screaming, man. I threw my playbook up in the air and I was just screaming. It was amazing, man. I even got water thrown on me. It was cool, man. It was the coolest experience in my life, man. So I wanted to share that with you guys just because I was talking to my homeboys about this and I remembered and I said, you know what, I'm going to share this with my viewers. Hopefully they enjoy this story that I have for them. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. That's my story that I got for you guys. I kind of wanted to make it kind of short and sweet. I don't want to make it too long. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, guys, subscribe. Leave me a like if you like what you're watching. Thank you guys very much for joining me today. I appreciate you guys coming to my channel, taking time out of your busy day to come and watch my channel. So thank you guys very much, guys. I love you guys. You guys are the greatest, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my story. Let me know what you think, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll see you all later. Damn, bro. Every shot I landed out there, dude. Shit, 26-4. Not bad.